It is so hot and humid, friends. But let's do it anyways. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal Lee Cotton and I'm so glad you've joined me for today's video. The flies have joined us as well. It's what we get for living on a farm. I'm sorry. I will do my best to keep them away from me, but such is life, and that's farming as well. This is a Friday video, but it is also a get ready with me because this is what I like to film the most. The end. Let's go ahead and get started with my Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. I'm really just going to do it like around my eyes because I've actually already tried to film this whole thing once and I got through my eyeshadow almost, like my transition shade, and then I realized that I had to like do something else because my lighting was the worst. My like everything that was going on was the worst. I was washed out. I had the wrong settings. I had the wrong mic settings. I was trying to use my AirPods and they weren't working. It was a mess. So we got it all worked out. My son woke up, my baby son, because my husband and my younger son are taking care of some dogs for my in-laws right now. I mean, it was a whole deal, for real. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my eyelids as well because they're a little bit red from having to take my eyeshadow off and my base and everything. And I actually have an idea of what I want to do because I already almost filmed this video, basically. So I'm going to do like a fall-ish cranberry eye, kind of summer weenie. And then I'm going to do a like brown lip. And I might actually do a little bit more glam than I usually do. And while we talk about, or while we do fall inspired makeup, we can talk about the fall garden and some stuff that I'm planning to do with that. I'm being very adventurous this year as far as like I have big plans all over the board. Let me like give you a little insight into my life and why I am the way I am just right now in this current like phase of life, I guess. I am 26 years old. I have been married for 4 years. I have been with my husband for 6.5, which is crazy because it feels like both double that and not even half that at the same time. We have 2 children. They are both boys, and I will not be disclosing their names or their faces on this channel, but I have a toddler and I have a baby. And when I had the baby, it was like peak garden season last year, and I don't know when to quit at all. Like, that's not something I know how to do at all. And so, silly little goober pants Crystal worked way too hard and did way too much and drank way too much coffee. And I'm using my Natasha Denona Biba palette, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Buff, which is like this. It's kind of like a pinky orange almost, or should I go in with Tone because they're kind of the same? But I think this one's more pink, so I'm gonna go in with this one because it'll nicely complement the cranberry. Is George on the couch? Do you get to see George? Hi, Bubba. Good boy. Anyways, doing too much and pregnant and moved and did all of these wonderful things. And I, at 32 weeks pregnant, almost died and had to have an emergency C-section, which was probably the worst experience of my whole adult life. I I mean everybody's experienced their own unique amount and like circumstantial trauma, but that was a big one for me. I already had one baby and I was just very, very scared and etc. And then we had a baby in the NICU for 5 weeks, and um, then we finally got to bring him home. And in those 5 weeks that I spent in the NICU, and my oldest son spent with my mom because she's an angel, she knew what I needed. Um, my summer garden basically got overrun with weeds and died, which fair, same. But I was super bummed out that I didn't get to harvest anything from my summer garden. And I like actually did it the lazy way because I knew I was pregnant, obviously. And um so I like went to the plant store and everything and I bought my own plants. I didn't even bother seed starting except for like the stuff you put straight in the ground. I was very both like ahead of it and not ahead of it. I was also planting trees by myself and like carrying them and going, and I was being silly. Um, I digress. Everything's good. Everybody's home. Everybody's alive. But summer garden died, and I got really bummed out. So I started my fall garden, which was not something I had ever done before. And I'm taking the shade Pasha, which was that darker shade, and I'm gonna put it all over the lid. Oh, that was rough. I think I might have to do this on my finger. Okay. Yeah, I think this might work out. And my fall garden was so gorgeous and lush. And like I grew corn, I grew green beans, I grew watermelon, okra, um, pumpkins, butternut squash for the first time ever. And if I had known that I was going to like butternut squash as much as I did, I would have grown a lot more of it. So this year I am growing a lot more of it. And I planted out quite a few varieties of pumpkins and squash. I planted regular acorn squash, a buttload of Waltham butternut squash. I planted a couple varieties of blue pumpkins. I planted regular jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, and I also planted like a Halloween blend that had the little white Casper pumpkins as well, etc. I'm probably peanut pumpkins and Turk's turban as well, which are really cool. I'll actually have to insert a picture, probably right here, um, of all of those things if I remember or can, because we opt for not having internet at this current moment in our life. And I think now that we also don't have TVs, which is why I'm able to sit where I'm sit with the light hitting me where it's hitting me, because our TV used to be here and our couch used to be where our window is, but we switched it. Um, because we decided that screens were ruling our life and we hated it, so we quit watching screens. And how did I get onto screens? Oh, the internet. Yes, I'll put the pictures of the pumpkins in there. I had to totally retract that whole thing. So sorry. And then I'm going to take this shade Monroe right here, and I'm going to go over top of that lightly. I don't know if that's going to do what I want it to do, but it'll create a nice little halo. Oh, that's not bad. I just wanted it to be a little bit more cranberry, but maybe we'll find something else in our collection that can shape it up, I guess. Make it a little, oh, I kind of like that. Pretty like. That'll work for me. I'm not unhappy with that. Okay. Sorry. And then, so this year, what else did I do that was fall gardening? You ask? You didn't ask. I don't care that you didn't ask. I'm going to tell you anyways. I thought I planted a whole trellis, cattle panel, built, arched over, T-posts, the whole thing. Thought I planted it with acorn squash, and the whole like beginning of this season, my husband's like, "I'm pretty sure those are pumpkins, babe." I'm like, "They're not pumpkins. That's not what I planted there." It was 100% what I planted there, and the only reason I know for 100% that that is what I planted there is because I went back and I looked at the packages because they were the same package, bought them from the same place, and the corner was taken off of the pumpkins, and I was like, "Well, we have a pumpkin trellis, and I'll have to include a picture of that. I don't need it right now." And then I also like discovered accidentally the most amazing and easy way to do my brows in like a pinch. And I'm doing a little bit more than what I did last time. But this is just for longevity purposes because when I did it the other way, it did wear off. Granted, it's been humid and granted, it's been super hot, so I've been sweaty for like the first time ever in my life. Not to be like, I don't sweat, but I usually don't like put myself into situations where I'm just doing an incredible amount of like physical labor, right? But not being pregnant for basically the first time in, or not being pregnant for the first time in a couple of years, um, has given me the oomph I need to go out there and get those garden projects done. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do a brow bone highlight. I don't know. I'm gonna use the one I had used earlier to set my whole lid. And then I might go in with a shimmer after we do the brow thing. But we gotta do the base first. And for the base, I'm gonna use Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in light medium. And I'm going to go under this cheekbone and around, just very lightly because I'm already fairly tan, so I just need some like accentuation going on. I'm gonna go ahead and do my nose. I always do the bump on my nose, not because I don't love it, but because it makes me look darker than I am, and I love being tan because I used to be a lifeguard, and it reminds me of when things were simpler. Just put quite simply. And I have developed much healthier tanning habits than when I was a younger person and I was a lifeguard and I just went out and got ridiculously sunburnt and um all of that goodness and then finally tanned because I think that in some way, shape, or form I finally just broke the genetic code in my body and it was like, okay, we'll settle, we'll just tan, stop trying to murder us. And that's nice. Where are we going from here? Blush. And I'm going to use, I want to use Maiden's Blush again, but it didn't really give me the effect I was going for last time, which is crazy. So I think I'm going to mix Maiden's Blush. I'm not going to just not use it. I'm going to mix Maiden's Blush and the Dior Rosy Glow 001 Pink, these two, because I think that if I do that, this will make more cranberry-ish. We'll see. Yes! Yes! That's what I wanted. And I blend it into my concealer, or the concealer I don't wear, my under eye corrector, because I like for my skin to shine underneath. I do have a very, like, skin cycly skin routine, but I have been using the same products, give or take, for like 3-ish years. So if you're interested in what I use for my skin, go ahead and ask. And a lot of it, or go ahead and ask for that video and I'll be happy to get it out for you. But and a lot of it is genetics. My mom has really pretty skin. My dad, my biological father, has like beautiful skin, beautiful teeth, and blonde hair. So like, thanks for that, because that's all you gave me. I'm gonna cut that out, but I digress. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be funny. um. Okay, so that's on. Let me see if I can find anything in here that's more cranberry. I think I have what I'm looking for. It's the Huda Beauty Naughty Nude palette, and I'm going to use the shade Desire because that's really more what I was going for. Oh yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Gracious me. That is exactly what I wanted. Oh, that's, do you see how much more? Yes. And then making a mess of myself. That's okay. I'll just go back in with my blush brush. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, I love it when it comes together. Okay. Then I'm gonna have to put my hair up. It's kind of frustrating me. Cute. Okay. Also, why I am the way I am. I am the oldest of 4 siblings. Yeah. I think that's the simplest way to put that. My husband the other day, he's like, "You're kind of a control freak," and I was like, "We've been together for a long time for this to be the first time you're noticing this." This is Makeup Forever Aqua Resist Color Pencil in the shade Ebony. I love putting this on my tight line. It is like the same color as my mascara, so it makes my eyelashes look much thicker than they are. And then this is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara in the shade Before Dawn. Again, one of my favorites ever. I think I'm actually going to make like a favorites video for makeup. Like all-time favorites as far as someone who's been consuming makeup for a very long time. Like over a decade. And that makes me feel really old, by the way. No escaping that. 'Tis the human experience for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lower lashes, and then here comes the brow trick that like blew my mind. So I've used a lot of that, and I just went in the other day and I used it like a brow gel, and I was so impressed because it gave me that like truly feathery like full look, and I didn't even fill them in underneath, which was like incredible because I do like it's coming around to eyebrow dyeing time, and I think that's gonna be a whole other video as far as like just things I do, like beauty prep. So like dyeing my eyebrows, waxing my face, waxing my armpits, whatever. And doing like a teeth whitener. laying out in the sun for 15 minutes so as to potentially catch a ray or 17. I got this. Okay. I'm just gonna. It's mascara, so I can do that beautiful trick that you do with mascara. On to lips. What do we want to do? This is like the hardest part for me because I love this like beautiful wash we have going on, but I don't have any like red-ish shades. That's just not something I do a whole lot of, but I think what I can do. Okay, I'm gonna use the Benefit Benetint. This is the OG. Yeah. Uh-huh. That tickled my lips in such a weird way, and I did not appreciate it. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, letting that dry. Now I'm making it worse. Okay. And then just for some final touches, I'm gonna go in and re-highlight that. Re-highlight this. Clean that up. Clean that up. Oh man. And then I'm gonna go in and re-bronze just a little bit. And take the hair down for the final reveal. This is today's look, you guys. Thank you so much for chatting with me, getting to know me a little bit more. I know I totally lost the plot and got into the makeup there at the end of it, but that's just really like what it is. And I love doing makeup and I always want to enjoy that. So if you would like to enjoy that with me, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Tune in next time. I post videos hopefully every Monday, Friday, and every other Wednesday. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace out.